Come on, you fuckers. Jesus, I feel like Shep. It's tech boom now for you fucking nerds out there with your special words. So we're officially allowed back in Wales now. So to celebrate, I've come out to do a local ride that I think is really nice. It's definitely not hardcore enduro. It's more of a cross-country ride with a few interesting bits. And started from Llandegla, and at the moment heading up the panorama, and eventually we're going to be heading for Llandegla. And Llandegla is, if you can see it over there, you can see the aerials that sit above it. It really is quite beautiful around here. Well, of a climb to start, but God, you're rewarded with the scenery and the burps. So we've gone no mod cons on the big bike today because the dropper post is still knackered. I've not been able to get it serviced yet. A, because I haven't got the tools, and B, because any shop I try just keep fucking ignoring me and not picking up the phone. So it's quick release and drop it, lift it up again, which is a bit of a pain really, but what can you do? So this is descent number 1. Now there's probably people out there wondering why the hell I wouldn't just go to Llandegla, park in the Nar Park and go for a radstick loop down the black round there. Well, I'll tell you why. Because this one little bit of trail here is better than the whole of Llandegla put together. And it's not even that long, and it's scratchy, and there's sheep on it. But just look at it. It's bloody awesome. And this is only one of them. So as I say, we are heading towards Llandegla later, and you'll see when we get there how much of it we actually ride. But don't think this is going to be a Llandegla trail ride. It certainly isn't going to be that. Now, into Scratchy Town. So I have to admit, I've already been down here once, but got stuck in a traffic jam with some sheep, and it did me nutting, so I went back up, as you do, because I do like having clean runs, not following people or sheep. I think it's the first time ever I've been down here and it's actually been dry, especially this bit down here. Whew. And there we go, run number 1 done. It is quite a lot of height, and then you've got to go back up again, but bloody hell, it's worth it. Absolutely cracking. So if you're interested in doing this route, and I guess some will be, then one thing to be aware of is it's definitely not up then down then up then down. There's quite a lot of traversing, and I quite like it. You know, trails like this, they're fun, but rest assured that it's not one of your radstick Nar enduro rides. It's definitely veering more towards cross country side or trail, or whatever the fuck it's called now. I have literally never seen it this dry before. Right, okay when it's wet, but obviously it's a damn sight quicker like this. You've got less chance of going over handlebars as well. It's always a pain in the arse. And this might look dull, double tracky, but it's alright. Just parallel single track really, isn't it? You know, I just love days like this on the bike. Just been out, middle of nowhere, just bombing along trails, not a care in the world, nobody for miles. This is a big part of what biking is about for me. It's not just battling down some steep techie thing in the woods. You still have your moments here, just like that. But what's not to love about this? Lovely, flowing, more than single track. Not everything has to be radstick Nar enduro.com. One thing today is not, is a route guide. I'm not telling you should or shouldn't come here, but I'm guessing that I'm saying if you come to Llandegla, then break out of Llandegla, because there's a shitload better riding outside it. And here we are, we're at Llandegla. This is halfway up the 3 mile climb. So there we go, look, get it all out, getting some action in, and here we go. Oh shit, no. That's enough of that bored of Llandegla now. And so, leaving the trail centre behind, after exhausting its possibilities for fun, we're climbing again, and we're getting closer, ever closer, to the elusive masts which are up there. So I'm not going to bore you with climbing, because watching people climb is dull as fuck. Right, so we reached the aerials, so a bit of a scenic interlude. Looking to Flintshire, Denbighshire. That down there is Llandegla. You can see where the awesome sick Ragnar black goes off. Looking round, you can see Molvamai in the distance, that's there. And then further round, you're looking at the Wirral and the other aerial. We near this aerial, and we're going round that way. So this is rather a nice little trail. Lately actually goes on for quite a way. Usually a bit sloppy, and yes, here's again. This is the one down from the mast. On Strava, God knows what it's called. I think it's got Enduro in the title, because obviously Enduro is the key word at the moment, because if it's not Enduro, it's not Radsic Nah. I mean, it's just a bloody trail. A trail that people ride, not an Enduro track. If you ride down it, you're not doing an Enduro, you're riding a fucking trail. I don't care if you're on an Enduro bike, or you've got goggles on the back of your helmet. That doesn't make you Super Wonder Enduro cool. Enduro, it's a type of racing. Put bucket seats in your Vauxhall Corsa, drive it around and do handbrake turn, McDonald's car park. Doesn't mean you're doing a fucking rally, does it? Oh, what is it with bloody sheep today? Go on, you fucking idiots. Piss off. Look at that spraying shit out. Oh, God, I wish we could do that. Imagine the time you save if you just fired them out the back, little solid lumps like that. Oh, these bloody sheep are pissing me off. Get in the fucking way. Like pretend Enduro riders. Pretend Enduro. Bet the bastards would have goggles up back of their stupid heads if they could. I honestly wonder if some of these pretend Enduro riders just have them goggles glued on their bloody heads, up back of their helmets. Why is it suddenly necessary to have goggles with an open face helmet? It never used to be. Fucking fashion-led shite. Moan, moan, moan. Whew. Well, if it wasn't for the sheep, you'd be able to see how nice that was. Right, continuing, hopefully sheep free. I'll be honest, this bit down here does get a bit claggy in winter, or most times of the year in North Wales, but there is actually a track to the side which is a rock-filled rut, but this time of year you can't see where you're going with it. So we're taking advantage of it being a bit dry. A lot dry, actually. Oh dear. We will cut into this one here. Taking some of the muck off the legs with the heather. Ooh, ruts. How the hell do you get good at ruts? And there we go. So as we head back round, we're just going to cut down this bit here. This is known as the bomb holes because they are actually bomb holes. Apparently in World War II they lit fires up here so the Germans would drop the bombs before Liverpool, which is about 30 miles behind us, and it worked, and the Germans made a nice little stunt track. I'm going to make a boo-boo one now. They really are quite nice little things. Not really going too quick today. I'll be honest with you, I'm half knackered. Weather's been that crap recently that I have to admit I've not been on my bike too much, apart from at weekends really. I'm going to pick up new cars and shit like that. And it's paying its price on my legs. Ah, sweet. So, this is it. This is the drop to the escarpment, and it's a really nice little trail. A couple of bits to tear your very expensive shitty SRAM back off. That's always nice to see, isn't it? Lovely barbed wire fence next to you to catch your cell on. Happy days with that as well. When it's wet, ooh, does it get slippy around here. Limestone, some sort of clay, claggy mud. Running sweet as a nut today though. Wish I knew what that rattle was today. So now we're into the path under the escarpment, and it's not really that technical a path, but God, is it exposed, as you might be able to tell from the camera, and it does freak people out. It's a lovely little trail, just flowing, enough to keep you on your toes without being crazy. God, if it was crazy, you'd be shitting a brick along here. And it's not all downhill either. It's really a pain in the ass with no dropper today. Oh, and here are our friends, the frigging sheep. Go on, piss off. Good sheep. So this is one, I guess, if you're a bit unsure of heights, then maybe don't come and have a look at, because you'll be doing a fair bit of action walking with a bicycle. But if you're fine with heights, just look ahead. If you look ahead where you're going, you don't concentrate on the edge, you're fine, aren't you? That's my top tip for today. So, some people might think I've been a bit harsh on Llandegla today, and I guess I have. It just doesn't appeal to me, as you probably guessed. And like, people might be thinking, well, where you been riding? It doesn't look like some super wonderland. No, it's not in places. But then, I'm not sat in a big queue of Enduro riders waiting to get around different things. Hardly bloody anybody. And that's lovely. Just what you want at the moment, really, isn't it? So you can see the trail coming around the edge. You wouldn't want to fall off the side. I mean, you really wouldn't. But as I say, as long as you're looking ahead, you're all right. There's nothing really to catch you out. A couple of loud rocky outcrops, a couple of loose bits. Most of it's like this, hard-packed gravel. And spot on. Beautiful weather today. Absolutely stunning. Been shit for about 2 weeks. Like November style shit. Payback for all those once some lovely weather while we were locked in our houses. Or potting out Chester. Had to end sometime, didn't it? Can't complain really. I can. I have been all the way around this bloody ride. That sheep. Enduro bongos. This last bit's really quite nice, well, it's all nice. This bit's nice along here though. Once again, just swoopy, lovely, single track. And this bit here, don't matter what the weather's doing, it's always bob on. Well, I won't want to do it in the snow, to be fair. But you know, not many places I want to do in the snow really. Not in fucking frozen, am I? Lovely. Right. Roy Orbison, risen from the grave to go for a walk there. So as I scoot around the road back to the start, and yes, there is a bit of road on this, then I guess a couple of people might pick up on the fact that I rode footpaths today. And yeah, I did, but I've already said that I don't give a shit about doing that. And let's be honest, it's a beautiful day, it's a Sunday, it's midsummer, and what I've seen, 5 other mountain bikers, 2 runners, and Roy Orbison, and that's it.
Just be quiet.
Don't know if she was telling me to be quiet then. Probably was. Probably seen my videos and thought, oh god, it's that idiot. Never mind. Just climbed back up the first hill because the descent off this is absolutely cracking, and even though I'm knackered, it's definitely worth it. It's not started yet in case you're wondering. It's just absolutely stunning, this one. So yeah, it's trails like this that I want to come and ride this rather than Llandegla for. Just natural, flowy, fun, single track. You never really know what you're going to get. I mean, sort of do because I've ridden it before, but you know, it gets washed out, rocks move about, it gets sloppy in places, so it can change in nature from one ride to the next, where Llandegla doesn't really. So it starts off swoopy, and later on you'll see there's a damn technical bit. Scared the shit out of me. I've crashed in it 3 of the 5 times I've done it. Wetter than Otter's pocket. Across the valley from here there's one giant leap, and that's just a bit downhill tracks. Don't even know if it's open again yet, and I've never been. I was going to join, but I think it's annual membership that you pay in January, and then once it runs to December. With COVID kicking in, and I could sort of tell the way it was going to go with lockdown, I didn't bother. Part 2, and this is the one that's a wee bit technical and keeps throwing me off my bike again and again. Mainly because it's so bloody wet down this bit down here, but you can see it's fairly rocky. It's actually dry today. Well, I never. God, such a good track. Whew. It's tech boom now for you fucking nerds out there with your special words. Not exactly flowy either, and down here it's a bit overgrown at this time of year, which is a real shame, but what you gonna do? In winter it's the poo. And then you come down to this bit here, oh, it's just lovely. Look at it, and then brake because you don't want to go off the edge of there, and then you're into an old quarry of doom. I did actually have a half decent Strava result down here. I had second for a while, but then the fast people found it, and I'm not second anymore. And then we get to part 3, which is basically crap, but it's better than the road. So So every time I come here, I always have a bloody great ride. Just some really nice trails. I say it's like XC, but not XC, because there is some like quite nice little bits on it. And it's a lovely, beautiful area, and it's just nice riding all the way. So anyone who wants to know where it is, it shouldn't be difficult to work out. There's enough clues in there, and if you run out of clues, there's always my Strava as well. But you might wonder what the hell's going on, because I did walk back up a couple to give them a second go. Happy days.